All right, so two simple questions on life insurance. Do I want it and do I need it? Do I want life insurance? For most people, the answer is no, right? I mean, when you really boil it down and think about life insurance, this is only something that is a benefit after you're dead, for the most part. For most of the policies that are out there, protecting you, protecting the people that you care about, protecting the stuff that you have, that's what life insurance is all about. The reason most people don't want to deal with it or don't want to talk about it is because it's facing your own mortality. Do I need life insurance? The answer is yes, unless you're immortal. The reality is we are all eventually going to die, right? And are there people, whether that be spouse, whether that be kids, beneficiaries, or even organizations of charitable concerns that you care about, are they going to depend on you? Or the flip side, do you have stuff that's, debt basically, that will end up falling onto something else? Are there things that might end up costing if you pass? Isn't it expensive? It depends, right? It can be. It's going to depend on, there are multiple factors that go along with that. One of the things with insurance, any type of insurance, whether we're talking, health insurance, a little bit different right now, especially if you're getting it through your group employer, as far as qualifying, but most insurance, you have to qualify for the coverage, which means they're going to take into considerations your health, your age, and factor those in and put it into a rating system that's going to look at the mortality for you. And that's what's going to come up with some of that cost. It's also, what are you trying to obtain and for how long of a period? All right, so what type of policies are there? Insurance, life insurance specifically, falls into one of two categories. It's either term insurance or it's permanent insurance. Term insurance is like the analogy we sent out and we use with everybody is the difference between renting a home and owning a home. If I'm renting, I'm here for the time being. I pay rent on this property, whatever that rent is. When my lease is up, either I renew it and the cost might be more, or I've got to go someplace else and find another place to live. Whereas permanent is like owning the home. All right, I've got my set thing that I'm paying for this, but I'm building up equity as I go along, because that's the idea here. I'm building up equity as part of this, but it's there for the rest of my life. I own that property. Eventually it gets paid off and it's mine. In this case, it's the reverse. Eventually you die and it gets paid off and your beneficiaries make out in that. Term insurance is literally that. I'm covering you from point A to point B, whatever that time period is. They come in slices from anywhere from 1 year to now you can literally, depending on your age, actually get 40-year term insurance. Not too many providers out there that'll do it, but it is out there, it is available. Unlike term, where the likelihood is that you are not going to die during the term, with a permanent policy, you are going to die. It is going to pay off when you die, and they know you're going to die. But just like the mortgage and the payment on that home, the policy is building up cash value. It's building up equity inside it. And that can be used. It can be used for a variety of different purposes. You can use it to pay off the premiums. You can use it to fund something else, education for the kids, retirement. You can take the money and do whatever you want with it because it's there. It's yours. It's available to you. Between the two, if you're someone who's young, right, maybe single, maybe just getting married, you want to protect some sort of a protection plan. I just want to put something in place, peace of mind. I know, hey, I've got either this thing or, some debt that I want to get squared away, or a young couple, you just bought a house. Maybe it's term insurance. I'm just trying to cover while the two of us are still here and trying to figure things out. Permanent insurance is more for somebody who's looking at, now I'm getting on in life, I'm older, I'm trying to offset some of the things that go on. What do I want to do? I want to build up some cash along with everything else I'm doing, right? And I want to make sure that it's here so that should something happen to me, even when I get post my working years, that I have coverage so that either my spouse or my kids or whoever my loved ones are can benefit from this policy, which is buy term and invest the rest. The idea is that the cost for a permanent policy is going to be that much more expensive than that term policy. The idea being that, of course, you're not going to die during the term, so the company's not going to pay it off, so it is less expensive. The permanent policy, they know you're going to die, so eventually it's going to have to get paid out, so it costs more. Buy term and invest the rest says, well, I'm going to pay for the term policy, and then whatever the difference was between the cost of the permanent policy and that term policy, I am then going to take that money and I'm going to invest it into the market, and I'm going to then have that money available for me, whatever number of years down the line, 10, 20, depending on whatever the term is, and I've got that bucket of money, and I'll have more money there than I will have in the permanent policy because it's not going to build up like the market does. Okay, that does work sometimes, doesn't work all the time. Part of the issue with that is you have downturns that occur. And really, you're already doing this in a way with your retirement account. All right, so what are you looking for in a life policy? Value, convenience, simplicity are the three sort of pieces there, right? You just got to define it for yourself, because then anybody should be able to help you or figure it out and design a policy that fits for what your need is.
Have questions? Ask us. We can help with that. You can email Craig at crichardson@aresfoundation.org, or you can visit the website to learn more about what we do and how we might be able to help you. www.aresfoundation.org. Want to see more of this recording? Go to www.aresfoundation.org/events. If you know an organization or community support group that could benefit from one of our workshops, reach out to Tom T. Alessi at aresfoundation.org. Our mission is trying to help everyone have a better relationship with their money.